What's good? What's cracking? I am Nick Danger, and you're now tuned into the art of MV. Welcome, and thanks for watching my video. Do me a favor, leave a comment in the comment section. All input is welcome as I try to get better at this thing, man. So yeah, let's get it kicking. So, if you pay attention to the little trailer, it's not going to be a typical what the MV does or what I think of the MV, as I kind of put a little couple of words on the trailer, letting you know my initial thoughts. My impressions are it's great. It's a good piece of kit. I haven't got a lot of time in with it, but I did get enough time in with it to make this particular video. So I like the MV period. The MV1 Verse Lab is the last installment, or the most recent installment, of the MV series. And all the MVs carry at least three characteristics. One, they always have the top flight Roland patches that are available at the time, and that is true from the MV30 M Studio all the way down to the Verse Lab, going back to the MV 8000, 8800s. They all had great sounds. Two, they all had computer mixers on board with professional effects. All three of them. Same thing. And three, they're all meant to be all-in-one studios, and all at some point have a forward-thinking connections, a way of thinking, forward-thinking processes. Like the MV30 Studio M had tape sync in 91, where they can literally sync up two tapes with the time code and everything. It was embedded inside the software, inside the computer mixer, so that you can finish whole songs. If you had a 4-track at home, 8-track at home, you could do that. The MV 8000, we know what it had. It had basically an onboard VS 880, VS 2400, or whatever you want to call it, VS technology from the Roland Hard disc recorder series, much like kind of its predecessor, which was the SP 808, 808EX. Anyway, and the MV1 Verse Lab has the same thing going on. So we know that all of the MVs are built like that. This one actually has a couple of upgrades. So what made me think about this? A fella in the MV8800 group posed a question as to what would you have if they upgrade the MV8800's OS. I was like, To me, it seemed that we already had the upgrade. It's called the MV1 Verse Lab. So I'm going to give you 5 clear wish list upgrades that are prevalent on the MV that make this thing actually definitely an upgrade from the previous MVs, right? So one, we're going to listen to some sounds, and we're going to highlight that. The fact that this thing has great sounds, but it comes with 3,000 of them. Let's just pick a random thing coming into play. It has 3,000 sounds, expandable up to whatever you can cram into it. So that's one that's definitely upgraded. And it has 5 times the effects. So both of them, I'm pretty sure, are wish list items, right? We wish to have more sounds, we wish to have more effects. But those are easy, right? But the ones that stick out are the USB to audio, 8 tracks via PC or Mac, or like you see here, I have my iPad sitting in front of me. I can just 2-track it into ZenBeats and keep the idea and work on it further if I had the paid version of the ZenBeats, like ZenBeats Pro or Zenology Pro or the Ultimate package. We can do all that 2-track right in there via USB. That one addition alone on the MV8800 would have sent us through the roof. That alone would have changed the game. To be able to pipe your MV sound into your DAW, cool. The second thing, kind of connected to that, is the SD card reader that's on here. Now we know a lot of guys modify their old MVs to have CF card readers because it has a disk drive or a CD or outdated format. So that's an upgrade. Now, even though we talked about the sounds, but how about the forward-thinking part of the MV is the technology and the fact that it connects to Zenology Pro and Zen Beats and can be controlled via the app. So I'm gonna pull up the MFX, drag it down here. I mean, up further up this way that you really can't see is the clip based, but being able to have all the sliders and knobs right here on the touchscreen kind of goes against what a lot of people deem as its shortcoming, which is this small screen right here. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this small screen a little bit later, but you can do a lot with this screen if you're used to it. I was already used to it because I have a piece of equipment that I'll show you in a minute that has this exact format, this exact same layout. This part of the MV1 Verse Lab is very familiar to me, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But if I hit being able to scroll through your MFX, watch this drop down menu, boom, and just being able to stroll through and look at what they got: mid-side EQ, mid-side compression, transient, two tap pan delay, the 320 420 chorus, 4-button chorus down there, the SBF 325. I mean, all these new effects. We have several versions of the effects that we have in the MV8000, and a lot of the MV8000 effects actually make it into here as well. Another upgrade directly, a direct wish list, is the fact that if you're familiar with the MV8000 series, you know that you only have one instance of the MFX, and you have to move it around the unit. You can use it on a bus, you can use it on the output, you can use it on the input. Well, on this one, each clip or each track has its own MFX bus, right? Its own MFX bus. Each channel has its own compressor, reverb, and delay, right? That's a direct upgrade from the old one. Is the MFX are dope, and it's very creative to move it around, but each one has its own, so you don't have to move it around. And last but not least, on here, one of the things that really truly stands out is the guided workflow. Now, most people won't consider this a specific upgrade from the MV series, but I would beg to differ, and I'm going to tell you why. One thing is that it's just to keep you focused on what the point is. You want to make your sequences, then you want to break that sequence up into sections, then you want to go into song, and then you want to mix your song, and then you want to mix down your song with the vocal and finish it. And it's all laid out for you. Now, you can either tap out your drums the way you usually do when you access kits and whatnot. You know, you can just tap it out, kit. Or you can use the TR8 style sequencing down here and utilize the steps. Now, I'll go through these things on another video. This video is just to point out to my MV family how much of the MV is still intact in the newest MV. So, to me, that is a deliberate upgrade, the sequencer being guided. Now, it's not as detailed as the MV8800s. It doesn't have 127 MIDI channels, and it's not controlling 8 or 9 audio tracks in addition to that. So it's a lot more condensed. Like I said before in another video, I think this is a notebook version of the Big Brothers, but it's just as powerful. And when you combine it with this part, which is, I don't see many people showing how easy and how cool this is. Most people are just working on the small screen and doing the menu diving. And I don't know, man, I kind of like the update. So I'll give you an example. I mean, basically, the clip mode is a drag and drop thing. But Before I get into that, let me show you where this came from. This actually came from this. This is the VS100 interface. It's an interface that Roland made for the Cakewalk DAW around 2012 or 2014. Anyway, if you look at the front panel, it looks exactly like this. The exact same screen, the same knobs up under it, the button layout, the whole board is almost the exact same thing. The encoders to input the volume and the gain on that is once again they're encoded for this. The push enter value dial it's in the exact same place, and it's made up the exact same way. 8 tracks with reverb and delay sends and compression and onboard compression. So basically, you have a 8-track VS recorder is what this part of the MV is, which is why it was easy for me to understand working with this screen. But putting it against being able to move up your faders with your fingers and move clips around. Look at this. You can just basically move clips around. Once you got a song going, it is way better and way more fun to actually do your editing on here. And that is a definitive upgrade to the sequencing environment. It's the guided workflow in addition with the clip-based Ableton Live type thing that it has going. This makes coming up with songs or actually getting into your song, the editing part, really easy. And I'm going to compare this to a part of the MV8000 right quick. The clip mode in the MV1 Verse Lab is just pattern mode. It's just a more visual version of pattern mode. Pattern mode it works exactly the same, only you don't see it the same. You see it on the pattern track, right? And of course, the effects on here, you have a whole vocal effects suite in addition to the 98 M-Effects modules you got. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you guys really think this is not an MV? And if you think this is not in the same family of the MV series, keep checking out my videos, man, and maybe I can prove you wrong. That's all I got today about the MV1 Verse Lab. Join me on my next cook up where I make 4 or 5 really whack tracks that you got to make at least 5 whack tracks on all the equipment you buy, standalone without anything else being involved. And I've made my 5 whack tracks, and I'm going to show you my process and how I use all this to make the workflow really easy for me. Till next time, thanks for watching my video, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.